It's all the Bears have done. They flied out to the warning track. That's it. Not one in the stands yet. Not one out of the park. Not one up on the concourse. Not one hitting a light stanchion. The Bears' free agency has been just a total.
Danielle Hunter, according to many, including Jordan Schultz, is signing with the Houston Texans.
They become the best team in the NFC South now. They made the playoffs last year, right? They are the best team in the NFC South.
Not only did they draft the quarterback, they drafted another guy who can rush the passer, and now they pair him with Danielle Hunter.
AFC South.
I'm sorry, AFC South. Yeah, I said NFC Tampa, New Orleans. No, don't mean them. AFC South. It's sad news. The one thing you were hoping for as a Bears fan was the fact that Danielle Hunter was still out there. You had a chance to get him.
Yes.
Now you have to address it in the draft. Now you've got no choice but to address it in the draft.
Yeah, I know. So they have not spent a high amount of money here in free agency.
Oh, boy.
DeAndre Swift is their biggest ticket item. I mean,
and a position that doesn't matter. They spent the most money at a position that doesn't matter.
Running back, they signed a safety for not a lot of money.
And that's fine. You get your depth position, sign them for decent money. But you had the one big signing you were going to have was to get somebody to solidify what you have. You look at what Houston has done. They drafted Will Anderson last year. They moved up. They gave up stuff. And now they signed Danielle Hunter. And they're poised. They're on the brink. They've got to compete in the AFC. And what's happening up in Hallis Hall? A lot of thumb twiddling going on.
Well, I've got the numbers, too, on it.
Here, first of all, breaking news brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group, home of the 60-minute guarantee. Again, Danielle Hunter, also Rapp is on this, Tom Pelissero. He's only 29 years old. He has nearly 90 sacks for his career. Waddle went through the year by year. We could go through this.
Yes, he did.
In a
year
minute.
By year.
He has 87 and a half sacks. Year after year, double-digit sacks. He just puts up big-time numbers. And again, I thought putting him opposite in the way they rotate their edge rushers, if you would have put him opposite of Montez Sweat, you would have taken some pressure off of both.
You'd have made your defensive backfield better.
Oh, my goodness.
You'd have made life easier on your young kids in the middle.
It would have made everybody better. It would have, like you said earlier, would have made them a top 5 defense.
What are those numbers again?
So give me, as far as his sack numbers or the money numbers?
I need his money numbers.
The money is a 2-year deal for $49 million, and $48 million is guaranteed.
It's $24.5 million a year.
I don't know what the problem was there. It's not a long-term commitment. It's $25 million.
Are they too worried about where the hell they're going to put their stadium? They forgot that the product they put on the field is more important? The hell's going on there?
Short term, that's, there's no huge risk for the team on that one.
I thought that would have been a win-win. He's 29 years old, right? This would have been his year 30. Doesn't he turn 30 during the season? Wouldn't this have been perfect? Because now you've got him for 30 and 31, and you don't have to worry about big-time money going forward?
So we signed nobody, and nobody.
While theoretically, if you draft a quarterback number 1, you don't have to worry so much about the salary cap right now. Yeah.
Is there somebody else they're thinking of?
I mean, he was the last real significant name. Now, we referenced earlier.
Now you're hoping for cuts.
Well, and Woonham, the guy,
like Bosa, if Bosa's cut,
or DJ Woonham. He had 8 sacks last year on the other side of Danielle Hunter. He's younger. He's entering his 5th season in the NFL.
Is this the guy that they're having visit on Thursday?
On Thursday.
DJ who?
DJ Woonham.
He had 8 sacks this year?
He had 8 sacks this year on the other side of Danielle Hunter. And
then maybe they look at him as a guy that if you put him on the other side of Montez Sweat, and then he's younger. Is that what they're looking?
But I think that's the only thing we can conclude at this point.
What is bad? Like what I thought I was going to be worried about is that Danielle Hunter was going to get paid $30 million per year over several years, or 4 years. Let's put it at 4. The commitment here is short term. Okay, it's almost all guaranteed, but it's only 2 years. You're paying him for 2 years. The guy only produces. What am I missing on the downside? What would have been the downside? What is signing Danielle Hunter prevent you from doing?
I mean, no, I'm with you. The only thing I could think is he was intrigued by the Texans more than the Bears, and so the Bears would have had to beat that number to really entice him to come to Chicago over Houston. Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility.
At what point, how much do you want to blow the Texans out of the water?
Well, here's my problem with DJ Wonnum, and I don't want to complain about DJ Wonnum yet because I haven't seen enough, or he's not memorable enough for me to remember anything he did. And I don't watch a ton of Minnesota Viking football, I'll be honest with you. Adewale Ogunleye was opposite of Jason Taylor when he was with the Miami Dolphins. So the rub was always, can he do it on his own? Can he be the alpha, the number one guy coming off the corner? Can he be the edge guy that's the focus of everybody? Now, he wasn't that in Minnesota, and he won't be that here in Chicago.
That's the good news.
So can he be a second fiddle is what you're asking of him. So can he be the second fiddle, and can he do it well?
Well, he showed you.
That's what you're hoping for.
But again, you could have had this 1-2 punch. Listen to these numbers, Jurk. In 2023, Danielle Hunter hit 16.5 sacks. He played all 17 games. 2022, he played all 17 games. He had 10.5 sacks. 2021, he was injured. He only started 7 games. He had 6 sacks. But in 2019, he played all 16 games, 14.5 sacks. 2018, he played all 16 games, 14.5 sacks. So we're talking about, these are his last 5 years. 14.5, 14.5, 6, 10.5, 16.5.
And that 6 came in only 7 games.
Right,
that year.
right,
So he's
right.
just under a sack a game kind of guy.
So it's not like that's a down year where he had only 6 sacks. He was injured, but other than that, 4 out of the 5 years he's played in the maximum amount of games. He's had production. You didn't have to sign him for a long-term deal. You didn't have to worry about him guaranteeing money through his age 33 or 34 season. He was getting money for 30 and 31. It's 2 years. But again,
I'm just
maybe again, like with Saquon Barkley, and I know you didn't want Saquon Barkley. The Bears finished second to Saquon. The Bears finished second with Gabe Davis. And maybe again, they offered him something, and he chose Houston over the Bears.
They also last year finished second for Mike McGlinchey to the Denver Broncos,
which was a good thing.
Not a bad thing.
It was,
yeah.
but maybe we're seeing, now this is the third free agency.
The pattern.
Ryan Poles has his number. He doesn't want to surpass that. And if the Bears aren't the high number, most of the time, then you're going to get beat.
But running back, it doesn't matter. Safety doesn't matter. Backup, you could find backup linemen anywhere you want. The deal that you got for the safety, I think it's okay. You're replacing Eddie Jackson for half the value, half the money. It's a good deal. Smart deal. Nobody's going to argue with that deal that you made there. DeAndre Swift coming in at whatever money. You didn't need to sign a running back. It's stupid. It's dumb spent money on an area you didn't have to spend any money. The tight end, you wanted another tight end here? That's fine. I don't care about the tight end. You had a chance to make an impact for your football team. There's an impact move to be made at the opposite defensive end position, and you chose not to do it. You chose, no, I won't do that because I'm smarter than everybody else. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope he's smarter than everybody else.
A lot of people are referencing in the league that they are wild numbers, like someone at Over the Cap is saying, like Jason, who runs Over the Cap, NFL salary cap and contract expert. He says those are wild numbers for Hunter. Good for him to get that percentage of the contract guaranteed. So, again, 48 of a possible $51 million are guaranteed. But again, I don't think that $25 million for a top of the market edge rusher for
is out of whack.
Is out of whack. I think 2 years, $25 million per. You're giving Montez Sweat $25 million a year. You're going to have a quarterback on his rookie deal. Like what again is the downside there for a guy who's going to get you 13 sacks maybe this year, 12 and a half sacks?
And you, Ryan Poles talked about Montez Sweat being a multiplier. You could talk yourself into having 2 quote multipliers on each.
Even more than that,
each edge.
Danielle Hunter becomes an exponentiator.
Yeah.
Now you're not multiplying; you're multiplying by itself to the third power. That's what he would have become, an exponentiator.
It's disappointing, too, because if you draft Caleb Williams and you actually get that right, I mean, you can talk yourself into the Bears being a playoff team next year.
If they paid Danielle Hunter $30 million, I'd say the Texans are crazy. That's what I would have said. But this amount of money being paid to Danielle Hunter is not out of whack. What'd you think you were going to have to pay him? You know, what'd you go into this thing thinking hey, we're the Chicago Bears and we're going to get Caleb Williams and hey, will you come play with us for $22 million?
I thought
you thought you were going to be in it?
Well, I thought when Tyler was going to read the numbers that he was going to read me numbers that were 90 million. It was going to be a $90 million contract and that like 60 some were guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I thought it was going to be more of a long-term deal. We're talking again about a 2-year guarantee here. That's not a lot of money for a guy who's 30. Like that was my biggest concern was the age, and you're basically now taking the risk out of it.
Free agency opened up. If this was a home run hitting contest, okay, free agency opened up. All we've done is fly out to the warning track. It's all the Bears have done. They flied out to the warning track. That's it. Not one in the stands yet. Not one out of the park. Not one up on the concourse. Not one hitting a light stanchion. The Bears' free agency has been just a total.
What's been the best move? I could argue the best move has been.
To me, the safety's the best move.
I could argue the best move has been like re-upping Jalen Johnson.
I'm talking about free agency.
Well, that's part.
It's not a free agent, no.
But at least it was the money that they dipped into the cap with.
Transition. I mean, you franchised your guy. He'd never made it anywhere. You just re-upped one of your own guys. It's not free agency. Free agency is now. Free agency is happening in front of our eyes.
So Byers,
it's making acquisition.
That's your favorite.
My
move.
safety is my favorite move. Yeah.
312-332-3776. So that was the breaking news. We were supposed to do Aki's A list, but that's pretty big news. What do you make of this, Bears fans? So you have all this cap room. You've heard about it all year. The Bears have the 1st and the 9th overall pick, and they have some of the biggest cap room in all of the league. And then you have signed DeAndre Swift.
Such a dud.
To a $16.5 million guarantee 2-year deal, basically. He could be here for 3, but you're guaranteeing him 2 years. So you've signed a 25-year-old running back. You've got Kevin Byard, who's been a all-pro safety when he was with Tennessee. You got a second tight end, too, today. You got another defensive back in Owens from the Packers. Oh, boy. Did I hit everybody? They've not gotten in.
It's a miracle.
Owens, did you mention Owens?
Yeah, Owens.
Yeah,
I just mentioned Owens.
It's Simone Biles' husband.
Yes.
That's who we got. That's our Taylor Swift effect.
So it's Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift, Kevin Byard, Ryan Bates, if you want to include him too. That was a trade. And then Jurko doesn't want to include the money that you spent on Jalen Johnson. Those are the moves you've made this offseason.
Because it's not a free agent move. You just re-upped your own guy.
So 312-332-3776. What grade so far are you giving Poles?
F.
And not going after or not at least signing Danielle Hunter for $48 million guaranteed.
It can't be a worse grade. F minus.
Jurko's pissed off.